Hey everybody, it's Shelly. Happy Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. I was actually thinking about making spaghetti today, so maybe I'll change it to something more, I don't know. Anyways, how's everybody doing today? My subject today is how do you know when to take action on something and inspired action. So what is inspired action? Like, when when you have a decision, like, am I going to take this job or this job? Am I going to date this guy or this guy? Am I going to, take invest in this or invest in this? So the best time to take action on anything is when you are feeling good, when something feels good. And I'll give you an example. So this was probably about my husband was struggling with his business, and I just felt like I needed to start bringing in more money. And so, in a panic of desperation, basically, I was not in an inspired place. I called my aunt, who is one of the owners of my family's business, not my family business, but my family's business that my grandfather started. And when he retired, he passed it on to the kids. And then my two aunts kind of took control of it. And anyways, I called her and I'm like, do you have any jobs available? And we're talking like, this is a manufacturing shop. There's machining, there's deburring, there's testing, there's, when I worked there before, I made the little spring buttons, that go inside of a pipe that you can attach different things to. I made those little springs with the little buttons on them, like totally monotonous work. And she's like, I don't think we have anything available, but I'll let you know. And this was like on a Thursday. She calls me on Monday and says, hey, if you want a job, I made a spot for you. You need to go in tomorrow and get your drug test and all that good stuff to get hired. Because even though it's family, I still had to go through the hoops, And I was like, okay, I'm not sure if I really want it. And she was like, what? And, like, I made this position for you. And I said, I know, I'm sorry. I'm going to give me a day to think about it. And she's like, okay, kind of annoyed, which is understandable. Like, I was asking for help and she made the effort to help me. And then I was just like, eh. And I was just like, figured out what I was going to be making there for 40 hours a week of doing this monotonous work, getting up every morning and driving there, not being there for my kids all day. And I figured out that I could make much more reselling. So, and what actually bumped me over the edge is that evening when she called on that Monday, and I was just fretting about it, from the time she called. And then Scott got home from his job and he was just like, which was his own business. And I told him what happened and he goes, how does it feel to think about going there and working? I said, it feels horrible. He said, then there's your answer right there. I'm like, I know I can make more reselling online. And he goes, then do that. Like, supportive, wonderful husband that I have. And so I did. And so that's what I'm talking about, inspired action. How does it feel? Does it feel good to take that job or does it feel bad to take that job? And in some instances, you need to take that job for financial reasons. But the thing is with that is you can take that job and ease the finances. Like, I know I'm going to get that paycheck. This isn't my ideal job. But on your off time, you can still be doing your little extra hustle, or you can be looking for that better job. But you have that financial cushion now, like, oh, good, I finally have a paycheck while I look for the job at the vet clinic or look for the job at the golf course or whatever. I'm bagging groceries right now. It's not my ideal job, but it's a job for now, and I can enjoy it, and I can enjoy the people, and I can enjoy the people I work with. So there are differences there. Inspired action can be like, I need a job. I need it now. I don't really care what it is because I know I can look for a better one. So I'm not saying, like, if you're in a situation where you need a job for finances and you get an interview and you're like, I'm kind of above bagging groceries. It's like, no, take that bagging grocery job and then keep looking for those other jobs. Like, this is a free country. We live in this free market where we can get a job wherever we want. If you really want to work with animals and you're waiting for that, vet tech job to open up that you went to school for, but all you can get right now is the job at the, Amazon warehouse picking products for packages, do that. And then keep looking and your resume and all those other places on your downtime or on your lunch break. I mean, right now, everything's online. You don't even have to go into anywhere. You just send them your resume and fill out applications and go to headhunter sites and stuff. So that's just I like go off on these little tangents. 6 minutes in and I've made 1 point, people. So inspired action is when you feel good about something and you go for it. Even if you feel good about it and you go for it and then you get into it and you're like, oh, this isn't what I expected. Stay open to the possibilities, because something in you, some part of your intuition that's connected with everyone else's intuition and subconscious, I call the subconscious like source energy. That's, you're tapping into everything. You're tapping into the universe. Some part of that knew that you starting that job at that grocery store bagging groceries, or you made the choice to invest in Bitcoin, or you made, the choice to date this guy instead of this guy, even though this guy's cuter and drives a better car, but this guy, has a better job. Like, and it's not even about that. It's just like you let your intuition and your inspired thought and feelings and actions guide you to the next place. You could get that grocery shopping or grocery bagging job, and then the checker that you're bagging groceries for is like, oh, my brother is a vet and he's actually looking for somebody right now. Like, I don't want to lose you because you're a great grocery bagger, but I can talk to him. And then boom, you're like, there it is. That's why I was supposed to take this job. Like, I went into it being open to all the possibilities. That's where the saying, everything's going better than expected. Everything's going to end up better than expected. It is better than expected. Whenever I do that, it works out. I'm telling you, people, it works to say that. It's going to end up better than expected. It's going better than expected. It is better than expected. It always works. It always works. It works when you're thinking about other people. It works when you're thinking about your job, your finances, your, let me see, what do I got here? Your money, your relationships, your self-care, your diet and exercise, your work. It works for everything because it leaves everything wide open. It leaves everything wide open. When you say, this job is going to go better than expected, you're not saying, oh, well, this job needs to give me a raise and I need to work in this certain department and I need to have a certain boss, or I need to be the boss in order for me to be happy in this situation. No, you're saying it's going to be better than expected. This day is going to be better than expected. And then you go into the day expecting things to go great. And then you get that stuff like that. You start looking at contrast, like, okay, I got to get up and I got to go bag groceries for 6 to 8 hours today. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to have fun with the people. I'm going to compliment every customer that comes through. I'm going to have a nice, positive conversation with the checker that I'm bagging for. It's going to be great. And then you get those inspired actions that happen where the checker says, oh, well, my brother's a veterinarian and he's looking for a kennel person right now, or, somebody comes through the line and it's just like, oh, I love your necklace. Where did you get that? Oh, I made that necklace. I didn't make this necklace, but just as an example, oh, I made this necklace. I sell stuff online every once in a while. They give you their card. They own an antique mall or something, and they're like, we would really like to have that sort of thing in our store. Well, then you find this new avenue of income and creativity. Like, That's inspired action because you've gone into that situation with a good attitude. You can go into those situations where, oh, the only job I could find was bagging groceries. Sucks so bad. The customers are so rude. The checker that I checked for or that I bagged for is such a, you know what? Like, I'm so sick of this. I have to go there every day and spend hours and hours a day. I don't have any time to do my jewelry business. I don't have any time to look for my vet job that I want. It just sucks. I'm so exhausted. I'm on my feet all day. You can do that, and you can go into that with that expectation, and you'll get that. You'll get crappy customers. You'll get the worst checker that, you know, is just pissed off about her day. You'll get rude people. Bags will break. You know, like, that's what happens because it's the law of attraction. Whatever you are putting out there, whatever you are emanating, whatever your energy is that's around you. And I go like this because your energy is around you. People feel it. You feel other people's energy. You can walk into a room or into an elevator with someone and you can feel their energy immediately. That's because we're all connected. So our energy that's connected with their energy immediately feels that. So when you get those feelings like, I don't want to be around that person, or you find these people that you like first met and you're just like, oh my God, I just love you. Like, you're just so amazing. I just love your energy. I love what you have to say. I just feel so good and happy around you because you feel that energy. So when you are in that energetic negativity that everything sucks, you are going to attract other negative people into your sphere of your life. But when you are positive and you're like, even if something goes a little, you know, a little into the contrast, you know, I get a flat tire, or I have to get a job bagging groceries, or I have to, you know, I invested in this thing and it went belly up, or, you know, I got into a fight with my kid or with my husband or whatever. You can go into that and go, okay, got into an argument with my son, you know, that really sucked, but what did I do in that situation? What could I do differently? How can I apologize? What should we do to better our relationship? That's the way to go into it, you know. And the other way is like, that little jerk, you know, I should have done more when he was a kid and made him do blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, what can you do now? What can you do now to make it better? And when you're in those thoughts, feelings, and actions, that's when things are just rolling along and doing great. And will things happen? You know, I think that when people start learning about using the law of attraction to their advantage, they're like, well, when is everything just going to be great? When you die. like we're here to learn, and we're here to have this contrast, and we're here to bump into each other and interact with each other. You know, like we were talking, my brother came over yesterday for a little while, and we were talking about the homeless problem in Portland, which is just really bad. And the city is really getting trashed. Like, I hadn't been over on that side of the river for probably a month or two. And we had to go through Portland to get to his house because he lives on the other side of Portland, or not really, but you have to go that way because there's not enough bridges, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, there are tent cities, which there have been in the Portland area along the freeway, along the I-5 freeway, but they're just trashed. Like, there's been tent cities where you're like, oh, that, you know, they're doing good. Like, yeah, I'm not saying that homeless people are doing good, but like, they have their little camp organized. You can tell they got their tents here, and they've got their barbecue over here, and they might have a little trash pile over here. Now there's just trash everywhere. There's just stuff strewn everywhere. It's just, it's sad, and it's gross, and you can have your opinion about it. Okay. So we were talking about that, and I'm like, well, either Washington or Vancouver, Washington does not put up with that, because you can come over the Washington side. There's some tent cities over here, but they have to keep them clean. Like, the authorities just don't tolerate, you know, throwing trash everywhere. And we even have a couple like public parking lots that they've turned into like organized homeless camps, where you can have like your RV or a tent or a vehicle, and they have porta potties, and they have they have dumpsters, like they're taking good care of it, and they're they must be policed in some way, and that it's just a good thing. To me, that's a good thing. And so we were talking about like giving to panhandlers, because there's a lot of panhandlers around this area. And I told him, you know, again, with inspired action, if I am driving around town and I see someone that just, it's just an energy that I get. Like if I just see someone and I'm like, oh, I really feel like giving to them. And he goes, yeah, but when you give them $5, you're not really helping them. You're just making them happy for a minute. And I was just like, I'm okay with making them happy for a minute. You know, and then he went on to kind of complain about you know, giving somebody some food one time that said they, you know, oh yeah, I'd love to have one of your tacos, and then he watched him go throw it away. Just things like that where, yeah, that's irritating and that's a little lesson learned. But the other thing that I know about my brother, and he even said it, I don't know if it was I think it was this Valentine's Day. He said his wife, my sister-in-law, pointed out that he went to like a little Walgreens or whatever and bought a whole bunch of little heart box, you know, candies for Valentine's Day, like a whole bag of them. They were like, I don't know, $1 or $2 a piece. And he went out and handed them out to homeless people around where he works in downtown Portland. And I've also known that he will sometimes like go to a coffee place and buy like, you know, 8, however many coffees he can carry, and he'll go, you know, walking back to his office, and he'll give all those coffees away to homeless people. And so it's like he talks a good story, but I also know that making people happy makes him feel good, which is good. But it's just like that. Like when I give a homeless person or a panhandler, I don't know if they're homeless, they might live in a mansion and that's how they work. There are people that do that. They go out and panhandle all day and make like $200 or $300, and they go back to their, you know, 3-bedroom, 2-bath with their, you know, SUV in the driveway. That's how they make their money. They're making like $100,000 a year panhandling. It's a thing. This is a free country. Like some places you have to get a permit for that, but people really do that. Like that's a way of making a living, and people can go, oh my God, I would never do that. Well, there's some people that would do that, and more power to them. You know, I don't have a problem with that. But the people that really need that $5 for whatever, if it's their next fix, if it's a, you know, bottle of beer, if it's a meal for their kids, like I have to let that go. I've just given them that with no expectations. Like, here's $5, put it in your gas tank, buy your heroin, feed your kids. I don't know. And I have to let that go. I can't just be like, well, I'm going to, you know, you need to make sure that you know, I'm going to sit here and make sure that you go to the gas station and buy $5 worth of gas. No, if you're going to do that, then you say, well, where's your vehicle? I'll take you down to the gas station and put $10 or $5 or whatever in your tank. If you want to do that, then do that. But that just feels like, like why, you know, that's not inspired action for me. When I just see somebody and I'm like, yeah, I'll help them out today. Or if I've seen him a couple times and you know, I can, for me, this is just in my inspired intuition action, is I feel like people that are humble are the people that I want to give to. That's just how I feel. That I don't need to explain it. I don't need to justify it. It is just how I feel, and it feels good when I can give to someone like that. So that's what I'm talking about. Go into these things, go into these decisions and these actions, because there is action in the law of attraction. The Secret movie that you watch, everybody's like, oh, they're just saying you can just sit on the couch, close your eyes, act like you're shifting gears, and you'll get your dream car. No, that's not what that's about. That's about being able to put yourself in that feeling. How great is it going to be when you can sit in your dream car, grab the steering wheel, and go? I did that. I went from a 2004 minivan that I had been driving for 16 years, 2003 minivan, yeah, to a 2015 Bumblebee Camaro. Did I do that by just hard work and perseverance and grinding that whole 16 years that I wanted that. No, I did not. I got that by being in my minivan and having these little moments where I'm driving down the road going, everybody's like going, wow, that's such a cool car. Not that that's the only reason that I have my Bumblebee Camaro. I love it. It's so much fun to drive. It is fun. The best part of it is when little kids point and go, Bumblebee. That I love that. I love that. Is that an ego boost? Am I not being spiritual? Yeah, but I'm here having this human experience, so it's okay. It's okay for us to have material things in this life. It's okay. That's what this world is this energetic material world. I have fun in my car. And I got there by finding the ease in all of it. You know, I should do another video on how I got the car because it was totally inspired action from start to finish. And every time I started to push really hard or, you know, find all the negativity in it and like, oh, should I really have this car? Is it really practical? And things would start sucking back up, but I'd just be like, ah, and then I'd be like, no, this is what I want. This is what I want. And then it would open up again. And pretty soon, like from the time that we decided to buy me a new car, we were just going to get a new car. It wasn't anything specific. To the time that I parked my Camaro in my driveway was about a week and a half. This is after years of hoping for this car. You can look back on my Facebook. Memories just keep coming up. I just took my memory just came up from 6 years ago. I took a picture of a yellow and black Camaro that I parked by at my local grocery store. Around, it's going to be time pretty soon. The law of attraction works, people. Use it to your advantage. Everything happens better than expected. Keep putting that out there. And take inspired action when things feel good. If things don't feel good, my husband has a friend, and I don't know him personally, but he's a friend, but he's also a coworker, and they're looking for a house right now. It is a tight market right now. Like you have to be able to go above and beyond asking price, have your closing costs, move fast. You know, cash buyers are king right now because you don't have to worry about all the financing stuff and appraisal. Like things are going fast. I like something on Zillow, the next day it's pending. It's going so fast. My real estate agent told me that most decent homes are getting 10 to 20 offers within days of listing. So they can't find what they want. They're looking at going an hour and a half away from where they work. What? That's not inspired thought. Sit on it. Just sit back for a minute. That's what we've decided to do. We've decided to sit on it for another year or so, and then maybe we'll buy. And maybe by then things will go better than expected, and we'll be moving to a different city with new jobs and new opportunities. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But it just feels good right now not to get into that rat race of struggle and lack and like, no, we're just going to sit here. We're going to save some money. We're going to, when it feels right and feels good, we're going to take action on it. That's what you do. Okay, I'm going to go now. 24 minutes almost. Jeez. I hope that this was entertaining and helped you on your path to happiness. Have a great day. Goodbye.